So today we are going to talk about your path to career success with the Daniels Advantage. So we are going to go over what career services looks like from a Daniels perspective. So today we have DU staff as well as DU students. So we're really excited to share that experience with all of you. I want to thank you all for being here today. I know it is a busy day, especially with our fabulous Pioneers playing in the Frozen Four. So we are excited to hear what those results are. So if you want to move to the next slide, we will be doing some brief introductions. So, as I mentioned, my name is Ellie Lichtenberger. I am hailing here from the beautiful land of Chicago, Illinois. I saw a few of you were also from the Midwest. I've been here in Colorado for 7 years, and I am the assistant director and career coach for undergraduate career services. So I work with the undergraduate business school students, so within Daniels, and I teach the required Daniels professional development courses.
Yes, and I am Allison McCarty. I was born and raised in the Pacific Northwest, but I've been in Colorado for just about 6 years now, on and off. I am an associate director and career coach for our undergraduate business students. So I'm excited to have you all here today as potential HIOs, and welcome.
All right, and I'll round us out in terms of career advisors guiding your journey this evening. My name is Stephanie Van Cleve de Herrera, and I am the Associate Director for Career Services, specifically within the Hospitality Management School here in Daniels. And I have a background in industry. I am a Colorado native, but only spent about 8 months away living in Florida for my internship in college, working at Walt Disney World. So that's my stint away and a little bit about my background. So I'd like on the next slide to highlight one of my students in a day in the life, what that looks like for her. Thank you. That was Ruby. She's one of our graduating seniors. She is concentrating in lodging real estate within our hospitality management program and landed at a firm making close to 85K to start. So we're super excited for her and cannot wait to see where her career journey leads. So part of that that I wanted to take a moment to touch on with all of you, and as you're thinking about the University of Denver and Daniels and all of the different opportunities here that we provide and resources for our students, it's important to note that the Chancellor has 4D initiatives that are very interwoven into the student experience here at the university. And it's a multi-dimensional education that prepares students to make a difference and thrive in a dynamic world. And that's why we call it the 4D experience. Of the 4D dimensional components, advancing intellectual growth is one of them, promoting well-being, exploring character, and pursuing careers and lives of purpose. And so we really emphasize that pursuing careers and lives of purpose point because we focus on, especially here in Daniels, beginning day one, that career is emphasized and something that we work with students on. And you will see in these different bullet points that I have here that it is very integrated into their daily activities and, walk through their journey each quarter. So some of the path to success in how we prepare our students to be career ready is that we have career fairs, meet and greets, networking, mentorships, and a lot of different virtual resources. So I'll kind of break down each bullet point for you a little bit and provide some context. And then as we go along, if you have some questions that we can address at the end, please definitely chime in at that point. So in terms of career fairs, we partner with the DU Career and Professional Development Office who produces 3 quarterly fall, winter, and spring, all major career fairs. So of that, within those structured career fairs that are all major for every student at the university, they are divided daily into different segments and then different neighborhoods based on the students' colleges and career paths and what they're studying. So on one of those days of the career fairs, there's always going to be a focus for business students, finance, marketing, hospitality. So those are wonderful opportunities for students to get in front of employers at those events that we host every quarter. In terms of Daniels specific career fair, the largest that we are a part of and help put on is the Colorado Business School Career Fair. That is held in the fall. We do that in partnership with the CU Denver team, as well as Colorado State University. The 3 of our universities put this on at Empower Field, which is where the Broncos play. It's a huge event, and a total of 7 different business colleges around the state attend and participate. This last fall, we had over 890 students who attended the event across the 7 universities and colleges. And of that, almost 50% of that student body population was our Daniels business students. So that is an opportunity to get in front of many different industry segments in that career fair. And then from there, we dissected even further for certain majors and degree programs within the college. My department, the Fritz Noble School of Hospitality, has a standalone career fair. We have our own career fair that has been exclusive for many, many decades now, because we have a degree requirement where our students need to attain over 1,000 hours of industry work experience. So this is a very intimate chance for our students to get in front of hospitality employers to begin working toward their work experience, internships, and post-grad opportunities. Additionally, the real estate school, Real Estate in the Built Environment, also has a career expo that they put on. Both of our fairs and expos are held in the winter quarter as we ramp up for spring job placements and internships. So that's a good overview of some of the career fairs that our students have exposure to. We also have meet and greet opportunities in Daniels. We have accounting firms here, the Big 4 accounting firms, finance, consulting firms, marketing firms. They come and camp out in our hallways and have all sorts of goodies, swag, cookies, just an opportunity to get in front of them for students to hand their resumes and also to be interviewing in our interview suite. So there's lots of interactions there, as well as information sessions that we do college-wide as well, where we will bring employers in and host them for an evening after classes, usually in the 6 to 7 p.m. timeframe, that can be exclusive to learning about their operations and career paths and opportunities. So some wonderful, great one-on-one connectivity for students with employers in that facet. We also believe that part of building your professional development career set is that networking and mentorship component. So most every department and school within the Daniels College of Business has some form of a mentorship program that we provide for all of our students in the undergrad population. So that could be a peer-to-peer program, or that could be a combination of a professional industry program as well. So your students will have an opportunity to connect in that sense, in that realm. In the hospitality program, for example, we are in our 16th programmatic year for our lead mentorship program, and our mentorship program does encompass both peer-to-peer and professional, as an example. Some of the other networking things that we have and provide with for the students within the college is opportunities to network in our etiquette dinner, to be a part of the different student organization groups that we have across the college as well. Some of those student org groups span from Women in Business to Delta Sigma Pi, which is our business fraternity, which is co-ed. We have Alpha Beta Pi, which is accounting. Here in the hospitality management school, we have National Society for Minorities in Hospitality. We also have a lodging real estate club. So the list goes on in terms of networking, not only with companies and employers, but with your peers within each college, which is very important because they are going to be your network as you head out into that career world. So then to support all of our different programmatic efforts, we have virtual platforms that we utilize here at the university for students to access and be a part of and gain exposure to. Some of those platforms are Big Interview, which it's kind of as you would guess, we have some mock interview tools and techniques in that platform. InterStride is a career search platform for our international students. Pioneer Careers Online, PCO, is our platform that houses all of our job and internship opportunities, as well as tracks all of our hours for those hospitality students. That is where I live and breathe. It is an amazing tool for our students. And we have newly adopted this program through People Grove that is called Crimson Constellation. And that is where we house all of the mentorship initiatives for each of the school's mentorship programs in Daniels and also university-wide. So wonderful resources. I will turn it over to Allison next.
So I am going to talk a little bit more about our career readiness roadmap. Of course, Daniels is the cornerstone of our conversation. What's exciting is that we do actually require professional development courses that are housed within Daniels, and there are 3 different iterations of it. I am lucky to get to teach 2 of those, as well as Allison and some really fantastic adjunct professors as well, who come from industry and are just local Denver business leaders that we get to put in front of students and really, allow our students to pick their brain and learn a little bit more about what the job market looks like. So we focus on curating strong application materials. So something that I really love that we do is that we actually provide a resume and cover letter lab. So we actually bring in guest speakers for that. My apologies, the allergies are really bugging me this spring. We have some beautiful trees on campus that are really getting to me. And we also provide them with networking skills with local business leaders. So we do bring in guest speakers, as I mentioned. And we also do mock interviewing just to build skills as well as confidence. We also provide opportunities for professional communication by bringing in recruiters and allowing them to connect with our students, as well as providing hands-on experience and real-world applications.
Great. Sorry about your allergies, Ellie. I know it's the worst. Okay, so why Daniels as a destination? Some of you are still considering your choices as to where you would like to spend your next 4 years. And we want to make sure that Daniels is your preferred choice or at the very, very top of your list. And maybe this will help you decide today as to why you joined our webinar. We wanted to share some of the top employers that recruit our graduates. This is just a small sampling. We have a wide range and different sectors and things of employers, but top ones to mention from this last year are CBRE, Charles Schwab, Deloitte, the Four Seasons, Lockheed Martin, and many, many more. Places like Deloitte don't only hire consultants, they also hire our analysts, our finance students, things like that. Same with Charles Schwab. CBRE, that's where a lot of real estate students go, but it's also a place where a financial analyst could go, right? Lockheed Martin could be finance, could be analytics, could be marketing, right? I mean, every single company needs a marketing student. Four Seasons, you could be hospitality management, you could also be finance, you could also be international business, right? There's lots of different majors that flow into some of our hiring partners. And I can put share a link out when I send this recording of where you can see additional resources on our top employers campus-wide. We have some really strong career outcomes statistics to share. So about 91% of our graduates from the undergrad level are either employed or continuing education within 6 months. And so that continuing education could mean that they're going on to get a graduate degree. We do offer a robust 4+1 program where you can kind of roll in your 4-year degree into a 1-year master's program. And so that's something that some of our student panelists may discuss with us here in a little bit. We have a whole team in Daniels specifically dedicated to corporate and community engagement. And so that corporate engagement team consists of our employer relations team and our corporate partners, where we bring in a lot of corporate people to come in and do guest speaking in our classes, but also do projects in classrooms. That's a really big thing for Daniels, is for students to get tangible hands-on experience with robust projects that they could be doing in the future. So we have very strong employer partnerships within the Denver area. And then Ellie, Stephanie, and I, we all do one-on-one coaching as well. So in addition to the mentorship, the virtual resources, the required courses, we are also around for one-on-one appointments on a daily basis. Students can meet with us via Zoom or in person. We discuss everything from resumes and cover letters to mock interviews to salary negotiation to what the heck do I want to do with my life and my major. We have all those conversations too in a one-on-one capacity. And so that's a real benefit of going to a school like Daniels and DU, is our smaller class sizes, our capability of meeting students in the one-on-one situation as well as in the classroom. And it's all, in the goal of your students being career ready and succeeding in a business environment. So from there, if questions pop up, please put them in the Q&A. We're going to move into our student panel portion of the webinar. So if our panelists want to come off of or onto camera here, and Ellie will lead us through some set questions. We thought it'd be really good for you to hear directly from students. So thank you for being here, and I'll hand it off to Ellie.
Thank you. Hopefully my allergies do not get the best of me in this specific slide. I'm so excited to have our 3 fantastic student panelists here with us today. If each of you could just provide your name, the city that you're from, and your major and your year, that would be really helpful. So we can start off with Patrick.
Yeah. First off, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, sounds good. So, hi, I'm Padraig McHenry. I'm from the Chicago area. I'm a senior and I'm a finance major with minors in accounting and business information analytics. Happy to be here.
Thank you so much for being here. I will pass it over to Audrey.
Hello, I'm Audrey Meyering. I'm from Denver. I'm a Colorado native. So it's really nice to go to an in-state school for me. I am a senior this year. My undergraduate degree is in business analytics, and then I'm in DU's 4+1 program. So I'm also getting my master's in marketing. And then I work at Career Services. So I work with Ellie and Allison, which is really fun.
Thank you so much, Audrey. And Ria, if you could round us out.
Yeah, so my name is Ria Chaudhry. I am a sophomore and I'm currently a finance student here at Daniels.
Thank you guys so much. So we are going to keep the same order in the questions. So I am going to start off by asking, how did Daniels prepare you for internships and or full-time careers?
Yeah, so I feel like, there's obviously a difference between in classroom and being out in the workforce. And I definitely feel like the professional development courses have helped me just get ready for the real world in the sense of, making a resume that helps you figuring out who you are and in order to sell yourself. And then especially in other classes with the applicable experiences. So we do a lot of group projects and we work with actual cases when you're actually using specific materials. And I feel like that has definitely helped me. And on top of that, one that really stands out to me is we have a program here, the Microsoft certification program that I'm actually a teaching assistant for, where every Daniels student, they have to get certified in Microsoft Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. And so I teach those classes. We could do like instruct step-by-step process of just going through a workbook, et cetera. And definitely with Excel, just being a finance major, the experience and internships that I've had, Excel is used everywhere. I feel like 99% of companies in the workforce they use Microsoft products, and it's very helpful just having that not just on your resume to talk about to get those internships, but also actually knowing how to do it for when you're put into that role.
Thank you. Thank you for mentioning that. Patrick was also one of our student panelists for our Daniels Professional Development course, and he was really helpful in connecting with our undergraduate students just to help them develop their career and educational course. So, Audrey, if you could answer as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely agree with Padraig's point about the certification classes. They've been super helpful. I use Excel and PowerPoint all the time in the workforce. And then kind of on the more technical side for my analytics degree, I also have a lot of experience in R and Python, which employers love to see. And so that's been super helpful. But I've also gotten a lot of support just from the faculty here at DU. I definitely think that's one of the benefits of having a smaller class size, especially when I was like a freshman, sophomore. I wasn't really sure where to start, had a lot of, faculty input. They gave me some ideas of industries to check out, things that I might enjoy, and alumni that they could connect me with, which was super valuable. Um, and I also really like that our classes push presentation skills. Um, it's easy to be scared, but presentations are an important part of professional development. I've had to give quite a few in my internships. And so being able to really practice and build and perfect my presentation skills has been very important in my professional development.
Thanks, Audrey.
Yeah, I agree with both of them. I think that the Excel, learning how to present are very important skills. I also want to say I think all the Daniels courses are pretty intentional. You have a very well-rounded base before you get into most of the classes are actually related to your majors. So you take a couple of statistics classes, you do the Excel courses, you have a marketing. So I think it really prepares you for a real life situation where you have a job and you have to do multiple different skills, not just like finance per se.
Thank you. All great answers. I'm going to go on to our next question. What professional development opportunities at Daniels helped you stand out?
Yeah, I think the biggest ones for me were the opportunities of, the career fairs that were available. Like for the job that I have lined up right now, actually was at that the Denver Career Fair, the one at Empower Field. So it's that's exciting, and then also like previous internship opportunities came from the career fairs. I just feel like even though we mentioned it earlier, I'll repeat it just how like once a quarter, at least once a quarter, companies come in for a full day where we can come in, or students can come and talk to them. On top of that, even at Daniels, almost every week it seems like there are companies that just have a table within the hallways and in between classes. You can quickly introduce yourself, put your name, give them your resume, etc. Just get your foot in the door. I feel like that's something that I was always looking for, like looking for a job is just figuring out how to get that connection in order to secure that role. So I feel like going back, just the career fairs were very helpful for me.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm glad you mentioned that. And I'm glad you were able to navigate a career opportunity from a recent career fair. That's also something that we do prepare our students for in our Daniels professional development courses.
Yeah, for myself, I mentioned that I'm in the 4+1 program here. So if you haven't heard of that before, you sign up usually as like a sophomore or junior in your undergrad, and it lets you get your master's degree at a little bit of an accelerated rate. So this year as a senior, I'm taking half undergrad classes and half graduate courses, which is a great way to get a head start on further education, but it also kind of helps you stand out to employers. For myself, I'm really interested in marketing research and marketing strategy, which is kind of a competitive field. And so having kind of those two degrees at the same time has really helped me stand out to potential employers. So I love that. And then I also really feel like the courses at Daniels are very customizable. You can get additional skills and certifications. I know Padraig and I both went through and got certifications in advanced Excel, which is a great way for employers to really see your technical skill set. And then I have some professors that actually let us customize our finals. And so for one of my classes, for my final project, I got to code a video game, which is a really cool talking point on my resume that I love being able to share.
I think for me, the Daniels professional development classes like were so helpful. I think the one I took with you, Ellie, I got to make a great resume that helped me land a job back home. And so I think just having those courses, having that time carved out where you have to dedicate yourself, you have to have, I think we did like an elevator pitch. We did sort of applicable skills that you're going to have to use when you go into an interview. It definitely makes you less nervous and feel a lot more prepared overall. And it was really great, I think, to have a job at least for now.
Well, thank you for the wonderful feedback, and we will round out our questions with how did you start building your career network at DU from day one?
That's an interesting question. I feel like a big part of it definitely is you got to start off with what you really want to get, or like, what do you want? Like, what are you trying to do? Who do you want to be? And then go from there. Simply, I mean, I just started with the small circle that I have of my teachers and colleagues around in my classes, different clubs that were involved. I've been involved in the consulting club and the finance club here at DU. I feel like that was really helpful to just figure out what I really wanted to be. And then also when these companies came in, or if like specific alumni came in for clubs, or even in classes when different individuals came in, I was able to talk to them if I was interested. So definitely was figuring out what I wanted to do, and then honestly just go from there. Just talk to as many people as possible.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. There's a lot of opportunities to meet alumni. That's what I did. Starting out, there's a lot of events, competitions with alumni judges that you can connect with, network with, and kind of start expanding that career network. There's also a lot of events. I like to go to a lot of career luncheons where, maybe like one or two employers will host this thing. My personal favorite, I went to a diversity, equity, and inclusion luncheon last year, which was hosted by First Bank, who actually got an internship with, and they're a great company, but it was a great way just to meet working professionals, kind of hear their stories, meet other students interested in similar things.
I think for me personally, it's really important to just talk to your classmates, especially the people sitting next to you. They can be people that you're probably going to work with in the future as well. So just even being like, can you connect with me on LinkedIn? Can you talk about like what you want to do in your career? What internships do you have? So it makes you kind of feel like you do have a strong base for a network. And I just talking to professors, if you stay for office hours and stuff, I find that they do want to like really genuinely talk and help with whatever you want, even if it's like, what kind of jobs can I get? What do you think? Do you think this is applicable? So they're very helpful as well.
Well, I just want to say a huge thank you to our wonderful student panelists. Thank you so much, Audrey, Ria, and Padraig. I do want to let you three go so you can go cheer on our Pios. But thank you guys so much. We really appreciate your insights and continue to trailblaze your way through DU. We really appreciated having you guys on today.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. We appreciate it.
Okay, so at this time, we left a good 20 minutes left so that if you have specific questions that we can try to answer, we can open up. Well, the Q&A has been open, but I believe if you want to raise your hand, I can unmute you if you have a specific question you want to ask. I'm kind of new to the webinar scene, so we'll see how this works, but you can also type things into the Q&A if there's specific questions you have. We'll give you a minute or two to ponder on that. So a question came in about how do we help students select their major in the business school? We'll start with this one and then I'll go to some raised hands in a second. Selecting their major, it can come with a lot of different things, right? We often have people talk to alumni and do informational conversations and talk to seniors as well. Like if a freshman came to me and said, I'm not sure what I want to major in, I would start with what are their interests, what are their values, what did they enjoy in high school, subjects that they're strong in, but then it's also talking to people who are in those classes, talking to seniors who are well on their way in that major, talking to professionals that are in marketing versus management. We can connect students with people to talk to. That's also Crimson Constellation, the tool that Stephanie mentioned, is a great mentorship tool that we have campus wide. So we would, advise students on reaching out to potential mentors in that space as well. Stephanie or Ellie, anything to add to the major exploration conversation?
I would just add that, of course, in our one-on-one career advising appointments, as Allison said, we go through all their interests, what they like, what they don't like, because we always like to reiterate it's just as important to know what you don't want to do as what you do want to do so you can better develop and navigate your career pathway. Another thing that we really like to showcase is career outcomes and career trajectory in today's job market and what that would look like from a salary standpoint, what that would look like for available jobs in certain areas. So that's something that we really like to give students access to so they can make the best informed decision.
Absolutely. And I think I would just add from the get-go, as a first-year student, every single first-year student is exposed to this 4-dimensional program through a peer mentorship, 4D peer mentor in that first fall quarter. So they will have a specific mentor that they're working with, and that mentor often can help them start to have those conversations and guide their decisions that way as they spend some time working together as early as that fall quarter of the first year. Great questions.
I'm going to go to this iPhone 8 who's raised their hand, and then we'll come back to the written questions. So I think if I allow to talk, then you can talk.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, thanks. I have a question. So as a lot of us are getting ready for graduation and stuff, what computer would you suggest to work with the programs that the freshmen are going to be using in the Daniels Business Program? Like, will an Apple work as long as they have Excel, or do they need to do the Microsoft type computers?
That's a great question. And we might not be the experts in this, but I will know from experience that I see all types of computers in the classroom.
Okay.
I see students with Apples and tablets and desktop, like Dell or whatever it is. But
Right.
as a student, you do get access to the Microsoft Suite software, like a license for that while they're here. So even if they have an Apple, I believe they can download the Microsoft programs onto that as well. So, but I think students, whatever they feel most comfortable with.
So Apple will work.
Yeah, I do see quite a few students with Apple.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, the next one we had was, what are the most common paths for obtaining internships? Which is a great question. And I'm guessing you mean like common paths, meaning like what are the steps someone takes to obtain an internship? And that can look like a lot of different things. Maybe I'll let Stephanie lead us on this one, and then we can chime in if you want about how do you coach your students on finding internships?
Sure, absolutely. Great question. So as I mentioned earlier, in terms of hospitality management, but then also college-wide and a lot of our degree programs, internships are a big facet of the learning to have that professional development coupled with the coursework that they're getting. For me, I'm super excited when I get a first year student that I get the chance to work with for all 4 years as we work to build toward the 1,000 hours of industry work experience that they need by the time they graduate. So in my instance, in my case, we kind of divvy the work into two separate different buckets, and we kind of take it in stride in a couple of different ways. So for first and second year students, I approach it as let's just work toward work experience in the industry. Let's entry level experience. We want to try a few different things over the course of first and second year to see what you like, and again, most importantly, what you don't like within the industry, so that by the time you're a junior and you're a rising senior, then the second set of hours, that second bucket, is really going to be more focused on completing a management internship component, which is very much geared toward what your interests are in the degree program and what you're specifically studying. And for me, some of those management internship components then are, working full time, having a mentor that they work with, a shadow, a rotational experience, a project-based component. So that is meant to be a lot more meaningful, high level, seeing, how leadership teams work within the various sets of operations. So again, we take it in stride, we build upon it between work experience to a management internship by the time they're a rising senior. And then we work toward post-grad placements after that. So I spend all of senior year working with our senior candidates as early as fall. It's a recruiting cycle for senior post-grad placements and getting in front of companies and securing job offers for them to then start in June and July after they graduate. So that's hospitality management, but I can honestly say that's loosely the footprint for every other school and department within Daniels in terms of how we approach that model for work experience and internships for the students, to get them the exposure that they need in the industry by the time they graduate. Hopefully that
Yeah,
helps.
that's great. And I think too, just the networking, right, of a Daniels program, because of the smaller nature of it and things like that. We're always trying to have past alumni hire our students in internships and stuff. So that's where our corporate partners kind of come in and we help that pipeline process. So internships are typically most common the junior year summer, but we do have a lot of all-star students that also do a sophomore summer internship. And sometimes students even do a part-time internship while they're in school too. So it kind of depends. Next question on how do students attend school when studying abroad? So we are not study abroad experts, but I can tell you that the majority of business students study abroad the fall of their junior year. So they would pick their study abroad programs their sophomore year, I believe, and then they study abroad in the fall and they take classes there. So if you have more questions about study abroad, I would quick Google search on DU study abroad, and they have walk-in advisors and drop-ins and things like that too. And I'm sure you can email them with questions, but I would say a very large percentage of Daniel students do study abroad. What's our next one? When can a student declare a minor and how does that process work? Steph, you might know about the when, but the minor I'm pretty sure can be declared sophomore year and beyond is what I would imagine. I see a lot of students that have 2 minors because of the quarter system, where they can just add on additional, if they need classes their senior year. And the minor doesn't have to be in Daniels. You can, have a major in finance and minor in economics, out of the School of Science and Arts and things like that. I have a student actually that's majoring in analytics and then minoring in film just because he enjoys taking film classes, right? So the minor is something that you could use as a resume builder for employers, or it's something you can kind of use to just learn about something that you're interested in, I would say.
Yes, I echo everything that you said, and usually that process can start around sophomore year, and that would be a conversation with your academic advisor, and it's just a great way to bolster your skill set based on your interest.
Yeah. University provides software licenses for free for students to use. Yes, I believe so, but I would reference the IT website, but I'm pretty sure while you're a student, you get access to free software for the things that you need. I heard it's common for students to double major, right? Since the quarter system allows for more classes, what are some common second majors for business students or minors? Yeah, so towards the previous question, it kind of depends. I mean, the combo of finance and analytics can sometimes be a common one, or the combo of finance and accounting if you want to stay within Daniels. Same with like marketing and management and analytics, right? I mean, there's lots of different ways you could do that. And we actually have some really exciting new minors that are starting this fall that we just heard about hot off the press. There will be a new minor in leadership in the outdoor industry, which is really cool. So if you're interested in working in outdoor recreation, ski, snowboard, you want to be run your own fly fishing business. So there's minors in entrepreneurship, minors in outdoor leadership, a new minor in possibly franchising. There's also minors in lots of other things I can't think of right now. Steph, what are some of the common ones for hospitality students?
We see a lot of the sales leadership minor.
Sales
That's
leadership.
a great one. We don't ever typically double major just because we've got some rigorous degree requirements, so it's a lot to knock out. But certainly minors, sales leadership, marketing, business information analytics, accounting. I've seen the full gamut of our students that can apply any minor to what they're learning in hospitality. It's great.
Okay, and then the other question we have on here are internships mainly in Denver or anywhere in the US? That's a great question. So I'd say, I'm pretty sure on the statistic, but about 70% of our students at DU in general are from out of state. So a lot of students do want to go home, usually that first summer and sometimes that second summer. So we often help them find internships back in their hometowns. Because we have alumni all over, that can be a good connector. Pioneer Careers Online, the tool that Stephanie mentioned, abbreviated as PCO, is something that students can access as soon as they're deposited. And that website often has internships that are all over the country. So a lot of students from the East Coast go home for that first or second summer and do internships there. We have a strong population, in Boston, in New York, up in Connecticut, Florida, and then of course, Chicago is a big market for us. West Coast, right? San Francisco, LA, things like that. So we do help students look around the country, but a lot of students will come to DU and want to stay in Denver. So by their junior summer, often they want to stay and have their internship here. And so of course we have a bigger network in Denver that we can connect them with and more employer partners here in Denver. But we're willing and able to help them locate internships wherever they want to go. All right. Any other questions popping up for anybody? We have just under 10 minutes left. If we don't want to use the whole time, that's fine, but I'll give you another minute or two.
As you're thinking of another question and potentially typing, I just wanted to reiterate the question in regards to technology and maybe how you can prepare your student there. In terms of purchasing the right equipment. I would also just emphasize at this point, if you can help them start to provide and build their professional attire wardrobe, they will use professional attire in different facets during their entire 4 years here at DU, whether it's a networking event, a career fair, a case competition. So I can't emphasize it enough. If you have the means to be able to, start to purchase a business suit and think about some of those logistics, that's important as well. We have a ton of resources for our students, a career closet where they can collect free items as well. And there's so many different opportunities to support the students in that facet. But as you start to think about those forward type of items that we might need, those are one of them.
We do provide all of our first year students with padfolios, like very nice Daniels leather padfolios too. So that's something that your student will get as a Daniels student when they come for orientation, which is really nice for them to use during interviews. Okay, well, I think some people are kind of slowly logging off here, so maybe we'll wrap it up. If you do have any other questions, you have my email. I invited you all to this webinar, so I won't mind a barrage of comments if you need to, but I will also be sending this out as a recording. Thank you so much for everyone's attendance and participation. We really are excited that you are interested in coming to DU and specifically Daniels. So thank you all so much. Go Pios. I don't know what the hockey score is, but hopefully it's good. And Ellie and Stephanie, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you all for taking some time with us today.
Have a great evening.